Hello everyone, it's thomasjujube and welcome to 2025. Another year has come and gone, and one of my favorite traditions here on the channel is to do a Q&A at the beginning of the year. If you're new here, it kind of lets you get to know me a bit better. If you've been here a while, it also lets you get to know me a bit better because, you know, we'll have random questions about whatever or what's coming up. I just like to start the year off with like an evergreen about me video. Real quick before we get into the Q&A, I just do want to thank you guys for another tremendous year. Actually, I wasn't gonna get into this, but I'll get into it now. I guess I might as well. PMC 2024 was this year because it's 2024 and that's when PMC fell on. And that was like easily the highlight of my year for many reasons. First of all, I got to meet Marcos and Keza. Well, I've met Marcos in person before. It was our first time meeting Keza in person, and the three of us as a group in person together was incredible. And it wasn't just the three of us, we also had a bunch of other friends that we were hanging out with the whole convention. It was so much fun, and I met a bunch of you guys as well. That's a really fun thing. That's why I'm bringing it up here now as well. Everywhere we went, people were like, "Are you thomasjujube? Wait, I recognize you." And it was really cool. Like, it was way more than it happened at Japan War Heroes in the previous PMC, so like it was just really cool to experience that. I really love that. The three of us also got to hold a panel, which I'll put pictures up on screen now because I'm really happy with those. I look so professional, don't I? And the red jacket is I love that red jacket. So and a bunch of you came out to that as well. It was quite a lot, so it was really cool. So that's easily the highlight of my year for anyone wondering. And that, like, one of if not the best weekend that I've ever had, ever. So and a lot of that is due to you guys, because I wouldn't even really, I'd probably go to a PMC regardless, but I wouldn't have any of that experience at all if it wasn't for your support here on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for that. Now let's get to weird questions that you guys have. What are your hopes and predictions for Gozyuger? My predictions are similar to my hopes. I predict that we're going to be getting what boonboomger's doing with anniversary arc stuff, but we're going to be getting that throughout the whole season. So boonboomger has like the Tokusatsu and Gozyuger little crossover episodes. I predict we're going to get that like throughout the whole show. There's rumors of a Dawn Brothers thing, probably going to get a King Gozyuger thing, probably a boonboomger thing. So my hope is that we get a Zenkaiger and Maji Ranger thing. Favorite Sentai and Rider openings. It says openings plural. There's two questions in there. Sentai, I don't know. I kind of go around because a lot of Sentai ones are pretty cool. I don't want to just default to Zenkaiger because I like Zenkaiger, but that one's pretty fun. Ninja and Shinkenger have like really underrated openings. Geki Ranger I think is pretty universally beloved, so I won't say it's underrated, but it's still pretty good. For Rider, I'll just say X-Aid's my favorite because I like Excite a lot. But for second place, close second place, actually it's same as second place as my favorite show, because I really like Trust Less. I know Trust Less is kind of controversial in terms of a song. I will admit part of why I like it so much is the opening sequence in the show. That one part that kicks in and we get flashes of all the different riders in an arc. So cool. Skibidi. Yes, as the new Fortnite skins. In my opinion, what has been a big highlight for me in either movie, TV, or specials with Kamen Rider and Super Sentai in 2024? So what came out this year for Rider and Sentai? I guess it includes specials. We have Kamen Rider Outsiders, which is like the most asinine thing of all time, but it gave us 4 new Gashats this year. I mean, 2 of them are coming out next year, but that's still 4 new Gashats announced this year, which is pretty awesome for me. I love that. So I guess we'll go with that. Hello Marcos. If Tom Katsu, then Katsu, but maybe and would you? Yes. What would I say is my favorite part about being a content creator and has making videos about it affected my view of Toku in any way? Okay, I should have probably saved the PMC thing for this. because let's just copy and paste that over here. That PMC, all that. That's my favorite part about being a content creator. Has making videos about it affected my view of Toku in any way? Yes, because now whenever I watch Toku, any Toku, almost anything as well, now I start thinking about it a little more critically than I would have before. Granted, some of that might just be getting older. In the process of me making videos, I also got older and probably would have became more critical of anything in general. So I'm not sure if any of that is due to the fact that I can get paid to criticize something or look at it critically, or just because I'm getting older. But like now whenever I'm watching Toku or anything, I am trying to think about it like critically. I'm like, does this make sense, or like does the story even work here? Whereas I feel like before I would just be like, that was cool. And sometimes I do still do that. That's the other thing too, because I don't like being super duper negative. If I'm like watching something, I'm like, oh, the fight was cool, I'll like kind of just build on that. I'll talk about how cool something was or something to that effect. And that's why I made a letterboxd, so I can look at anything critically. That's not true. If you look at my letterboxd, half of my reviews are memes. Why does Tonkatsu call you baby girl? What would be my perfect 6th Ranger for Gozyuger? Well, we do have rumors / confirmation that it's going to be a silver bear. So, operating with that assumption, I'd really like... Well, let's see. The changer right now we know is like the hand mecha thing. So, at the very least, can we please continue that? Let his changer be the mecha. Could be like a gun or a sword like that he holds on his own. But at the very least, I'd like us to continue that trend. What are my expectations for Gavu and boonboomger next year? That they're both good. For boonboomger, my main thing, I just really want something with the Big Bang Grand Prix in the show. If they do like a post-show Big Bang Grand Prix kind of thing, I will be a little disappointed, because that's something they set up in the show, and to just push that to V Cinema material feels really disingenuous. So that's my big hope for boonboomger. Just have that. It could be like an episode, an arc, or something like that. I just hope it's in the show. For Gavu, there's like a lot of stuff coming, so I just kind of hope they can maybe... Well, right now, I really like the dynamic with the villains and Hanto and Shoma, so I really hope they can keep this... All these interesting character dynamics, I hope they can keep them up and make sure they don't like stale out or whatever. That's not a thing people say, right? Stale out. Okay, so for this Q&A, I did something a little bit different. I opened the floor to you to ask questions anonymously. So we're gonna get into some of these anonymous questions. But before I do that, I just want to let everyone know that's wondering where you can get my shirt. I actually have a fourth wall page that's been linked in all of my videos for the last many months, and you can get this shirt. Sorry, this is not a shirt, this is a jacket. You can get this jacket and a shirt I have worn in other videos, plus a couple of other things on that fourth wall page if you're interested in supporting me and just wearing some cool, or at least I think it's cool merch. I tried to make it like, you know, it's obviously me, but I tried to make it kind of, you know, generic so you don't look like you're wearing YouTuber merch. So if you're interested in getting some of that, be sure to check out the description. When will I start reviewing older seasons of Rider and Sentai that I have watched? Also, will I or have I seen Pretty Cure? So that last one, let's answer it now. No, I have not seen Pretty Cure. Will I watch Pretty Cure eventually? Probably. I don't know. I just haven't really felt like a big need to watch it. It just doesn't interest me as much. As for when will I start reviewing older seasons, I am a little curious what this person means by that, because I do review older seasons of Rider and Sentai. I've reviewed, I mean, you can see them here on the channel. I've done older Sentai and older Rider. Granted, I haven't done it in a while, so maybe the question is, when will I get back to that? So yeah, I guess that's that. Worst trouble I got into as a kid. I think there was this one time I hurt my brother. I don't know if I hurt him or I said something mean to him when we were playing the Transformers 2007 game. And I had to go into timeout for a while. I think I hurt him. I think that's what happened. Why doesn't Ultraman crossover with Super Sentai or Kamen Rider? So, first of all, Kamen Rider and Sentai, not... Kamen Rider and Ultraman have had a crossover a long time ago. But they don't really do it anymore because they're made by different companies. Kamen Rider and Super Sentai are both made by Toei, and Ultraman is made by Subarai. So it's more of a just, you know, different companies don't want to share their toys and play together, essentially. How much would someone have to pay me to swallow a ride watch on camera? So, I know it's possible because Woz did it in a movie. So let's say $1,000. What non-mainstream toku shows would I recommend? So the first one I think of is Gridman, because I really like Gridman and the Gridman anime. So I guess that does kind of include the anime, because I feel like the anime really improves the original show. So that's kind of a complete package, even though the anime is not technically toku. Other shows I haven't seen, but I know they're good. If I don't know if this is asking like which have I seen that I'd recommend, or maybe this person doesn't know. But there's Garo as well. You could watch Garo. Actually, right now I have seen it. Or I think it ended, so I lie. It's not right now. But we just got a little short season called Wingman, which is directed by Sakamoto, who's like a really famous toku director. So that was pretty cool. You could watch that. And then there's also like Metal Heroes. We called it VR Troopers. Metal Heroes has a bunch of different entries. So you could check that out as well. It's like very classic toku as well. If I had my own Gozyuger ring, what animal would it be? A bunny, easily. We got a bunny question like every. Here's the obligatory. Here's my bunny. His name is Bunny. I like bunnies. So any animal question, usually it would result in bunny. So what Gozyuger ring would I have? It would be bunny. What do you think of that, bunny?
What's a Gozyuger?
Is my name Jujube because I juju on that beat? No. My name is Jujube because that's what my parents called me, like as a nickname when I was younger. And we just added that to my name, and that made Thomas Jujube. Why haven't I released video reviews on Osama Sentai King Gozyuger vs. Dawn Brothers and Osama Sentai King Gozyuger vs. Gozyuger? Well, the simple answer to that is I hate King Gozyuger. Moving on. I'm just kidding. I don't love King Gozyuger, but I don't hate it. I've been kind of busy for a while, which you could probably tell from the lack of main videos. So yeah, I have seen them. If you want my quick review, versus Dawn Brothers is like insane. Versus Gozyuger is actually pretty awesome, and I've seen Gozyuger, so that's like with a whole frame of reference. If I was a supporter in Kamen Rider Geats like Jean or Kekera, which DGP contestant would I have supported, and what would be my animal motif as a Laser Rays Riser Rider? Wow, that's a mouthful. I didn't realize that. So is this any rider in the show? Yes. Let me. I can't just pick a rider in the show, right? I have to pick one of these weird guys with a name. Dakun. Kamen Rider Dakun. Don't remember who that is. So we'll say him. And animal motif. Bunny, have you seen Kamen Rider Geats?
No.
If I was in the world of X-Aid, would I have participated in Kamen Rider Chronicle or no? Well, it seemed like it was it was a Japanese only release in X-Aid, right? Because I think part of the thing at the end was, in the ending arc, was we're gonna make it go worldwide. That was like Cronus' whole thing. Bada bing, bada boom, Mr. Worldwide as I stepped in the room. Yeah, I would have, I don't care. I would have participated in Kamen Rider Chronicle, yeah. When Season 4 of Henshins and Dragons? I love Leo and Fool's BL moments, my fave two characters. P.S. Love your character Victory, wish he talked more. I will be sure to pass on the love for Leo and Fool. As for when Season 4, you'll have to ask Marcos, because I'm not in charge of any of that, so. Who's my favorite Power Rangers character specifically from the Boom Studios comics? Okay, so I stopped reading the comics up to, I think up to the split. Yes, I read up to 55 when they split off, and I read a bit of that, but then I stopped. So we'll just go up to the split. I remember, at least distinctly, I actually really liked Jason. in the comics specifically. Like, I had no real attachment to him in the show, but like in the comics they made him very like actually interesting as a character. And obviously becomes like Omega Red, and I know some of the stuff that happens later in after the split and after they combined back. I don't know what happens. I mean, generically, I like Draken too, because evil Tommy with all the Power Ranger powers. What? If there's one candy, snack, or food I would want to see in Gavu, what would it be and why? Food. Well, I guess food. It's the question asks food. But the Gochizo aren't really food, but we'll just say pizza, because pizza's my favorite food. If they could make a pizza Gochizo somehow, let's go for it. There's also, for snacks specifically, my favorite snacks are goldfish crackers. So if we could get a goldfish cracker Gochizo, please, I'll buy it. Would I like to see a 7th Ranger in the vein of Stay Caesar, those guys, in Gozyuger, and what would I like to see done with the concept in the future? Yes, I quite like those characters. Most of them are my favorite character of the respective show, or one of my favorite characters. It would be interesting if they took a page out of Kamen Rider's book with their premium Bandai item and had it more of a device passed around. So let's just take the Dread Driver from Gotchard, for example. That was passed around to the 3 main villains, a couple of the other side characters. It would be cool if they did that for Sentai Evil Rider, because they don't really do that with Sentai devices in general. Like, I guess King Oger is like the most prominent / recent example. So it'd be kind of cool if we got like a Evil Ranger suit and the villains swap around using it. Before we get to the last stretch of questions, I just want to let everyone know that I do have YouTube channel memberships open right now. It's the same as Patreon, but it's just here on YouTube. You get the same perks such as early access videos, exclusive behind the scenes content like this whole Q&A, the whole unedited footage available for members and supporters. If you're interested in that, be sure to check it out to support me and the channel. I have a full video describing what kind of perks you get. And if not, let's continue. What is my opinion about the Gotchard V Cinema movie? So it's not out yet as of this recording. Maybe when it goes out, it's up because I take so long to make videos. But it looks odd. Just because it's called Gotchard Graduations, because it's about the graduation of Hotaro and Rina, and some of the marketing was kind of hinting at that we're gonna get like Rina's confession to Hotaro. But then the full trailer is about Spanner, and Spanner's getting a new form, and the graduations is apparently an extended version of GT, which is the name of the Valvarod form. So the whole thing is just very odd to me. I don't understand what they're going for here, because Spanner's not graduating. I'll still watch it. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm just a little confused about the theming here. Do I think Power Rangers will ever go back to adapting the Sentai, or is it time to move on? I don't think they will. I think, especially with Cosmic Fury being the last season at all for the time being, they've been like, all of their attempts to get a reboot or the new thing going off the ground have been like a new original idea. So I don't think they'll go back to adapting Sentai. Like, I feel like Power Rangers as we knew it, even if it comes back as we know it, I think it is gone. What is my favorite Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and Ultraman? This doesn't say season, I just realized. So it's asking character, I guess. So we'll say for Kamen Rider, Deno, Ryotaro. Super Sentai, Majin, of course. And Ultraman, we'll say Ultraman Orb. Yeah, because he is an Ultraman. But he's technically not my favorite character. I'd actually probably give that to Juggler. But he's not an Ultraman, so... What's my best suit of the year from Rider, Sentai, and Ultraman? Okay. Well, for Ultraman, there's not a lot of options, right? I think I'll give it to Arc Galaxy, honestly. And part of that's a little bit of bias, because as a form with its powers and stuff, I do like it. For Sentai, it's basically just boonboomger, right? I guess we'll go with boonboomger 119, or Boon Red 119. The red and black, the different spandex looks very cool. I love that suit. For Rider, we're Gotchard Rainbow. I really love Rainbow Gotchard as a suit. I love the rainbow. I love how spiky it is. Genuinely one of my top final form designs in Kamen Rider. It just looks so cool. Would I ever make a ranking on Ultraman beam attacks or Sentai team finishers, since I made a ranking on Kamen Rider kicks? Ultraman beam attacks, definitely possible. That could be really fun, because they all do different variations. This. Sentai team finishers, the thing with that is we haven't even gotten a team finisher in Sentai in a while. So instead of team finishers, I'd probably just pick suits again. Or maybe even like mecha final attack, something like that. It would have to be something that I could pick most, if not all, the seasons or teams. But yeah, that could be interesting. I haven't done a ranking in a while, so those could be fun to do. My favorite stomach family member from Gavu. That's really interesting because I feel like it was kind of a toss-up between the twins and, well, now the glasses guy, Niev. I'll just say Niev. He's gotten way more interesting to me recently now that they revealed he's working with Juran's voice actor, because like that just like he went from like the scheming behind the scenes guy to like being directly involved with humans. Granted, it also makes Suga way more interesting to me as well. Like, that whole dynamic is really fascinating to me, because they're kind of just their own faction, if anything. Now that we had a back on for Gozyuger's opening, what big-name Japanese band would I like to see do a Toku theme? I don't know any big-name Japanese bands, but all the Japanese bands I know are anime girl groups. So it'd either be Rondo or like Maigo or Afamujika. One of those, that would be pretty cool. Do I ever plan to make a series of videos that would be my version of a Tokusatsu program? I don't know if I'd ever make a series of videos. I guess it would be a series of videos, right? Like, I'd like to make something on my Sinja Kamen Rider idea, which I have thought about recently because of Geats. But I haven't really done much besides writing down like toy ideas. Like, essentially, if I ever like sit down and write a whole like outline or script or whatever of my Rider or Sentai or Ultraman like OC ideas, then yes, you guys will get a video out of that, because I love making content out of my hobbies. Do I ever plan on making non-Toku content? Because it would be cool to do a then to now on Grand Theft Auto or the Fallout games. So unfortunately, I've never actually played Grand Theft Auto or the Fallout games, so that's not in the cards for any of us. But non-Toku content definitely is still possible. I would really like, as I mentioned earlier, I would really like to make anime Gridman content, not just like a review or something. That technically would count as non-Toku content. Like any technically not Toku content I would be interested in making, but it also would be Toku adjacent because it's Gridman or like Futo PI or something like that. Or Transformers. Maybe I will make a video on the dollar. No, let's blur that price out. I don't need to say that, even though it is publicly available. The HasLab Omega Prime. When that comes out, would anyone be interested in a video or a live stream of that? You guys watch no one watches my unboxings anyways. Let's just make one about Transformers. What do I think of Gavu and Gozyuger not getting a movie Tyson? I am disappointed. I do like, even if some of them are bad, I like getting the Rider and Sentai casts together and doing whatever for an hour and a half. So I am disappointed they weren't able to get one out for this winter. I hope they'll do something with Gavu and Gozyuger crossing over, whether it's a post-series V cinema like Sentai does, whether even if it's just a 2-episode thing in the show like Ultraman does, or Super Sentai now. I'd be okay with that. I hope they get some kind of interaction. What new Sentai would I adapt first? Plug for Sentai Potential. Yes, that's right. If you guys want to check out Sentai Potential, I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description, and either soon or just came out will be King Gozyuger Potential. Which one would I adapt first? I mean, Kira Major's very safe. I would say I would like to see what they do with Dawn Brothers or Gozyuger. I might just say Gozyuger. It's not out yet, but in this hypothetical world where Power Rangers is still existing, Gozyuger adaptation would be pretty epic. Who is my favorite 6th Ranger? I don't know why 6 is... Oh, well, I mean, because not all of them are the actual 6th Rangers, but they are filling the category of Sixth Ranger. I like Zox a lot. I know I'm just giving Zenkaiger answers, but I like Zenkaiger. Zox was really fun in that show. I also really liked Jeremy King Oger. I know Thomas Jujube likes something from King Oger. I liked him a lot in the first half of the show because he was like the most integrated Sixth Ranger into the plot ever. Like, he's the narrator in episode 1. That's still crazy to me because usually the Sixth Rangers are always some guy they pulled off the street so they can sell new toys. This was the guy they pulled off the street in the beginning of the show, not whenever he had to debut. So I thought that was awesome. What would I want to see done in boonboomger versus King Oger? I would like to see them outside. Can we get the King Ogers in the jackets? Let's give Boon Red the King Kuwagata suit in its entirety. Don't change anything except give him a tire head. Just like golden tire head on that suit. Let's do that. And that's the last question. So thank you everyone who asked a question either publicly or anonymously. And thank you to everyone for your support throughout 2024. I hope you continue to support me throughout 2025 and beyond. Be sure to check out all the links I mentioned for the hoodie, the supporter links, and if not, just subscribe to the channel for all of my future Tokusatsu content. And I hope to see you next time.